Okay, so boom, y'all. I'm flying out. I got flued out, but it's for a good cause. It's World Mental Health Day, and this trip is 24 hours. First time on Spirit, easy peasy, and this is where I'm going. Okay, y'all. So I'm headed to Miami to speak for World Mental Health Day. Y'all, I went out last night for my friend's birthday, and I'm so sleepy, but here I am. One thing about Atlanta, Georgia, it's not Atlanta. If you know, you know. Okay, y'all, so one thing about it, and two things for sure. Atlanta Airport is on airport. I'm so sleepy this morning, but baby, you got to do what you got to do. And this is a paid gig, you feel me? I'm talking to y'all like on FaceTime, but YouTube, what it do? I don't know why, but every time I'm on the plane, I always have to hit like the sky because I feel like I'm close to my mommy and grandmama. All right, sockets, I made it to Florida. Spirit was not that bad. People be talking about Spirit. It's not that bad, seriously. It was straight. I had a good leg room. And of course, the flight ain't numbered an hour and a half, so yeah. Okay, guys, so y'all know I'm in Deerfield Beach walking in this hot sun with this sweatsuit on because I don't know, I be forgetting that I'm going to Florida, and you know in Atlanta it's cold, but I'm about to go to Flanagan's, guys. If you know me, you know I love Flanagan's, and literally it all works out how it's supposed to work out because she said that's where we were going. Say hello to YouTube. Hello, hello. So I'm using my phone because I forgot my camera and my shoes and everything else. But hey, here we are. So I was able to get my makeup done. I was kind of, concerned about it because at first I was like, oh, wait, what's this? What is it giving? But it was cool. If we could be transparent, a little lighter than I would get my face. But right here, she's just applying whatever it is that you apply. I don't know about makeup, y'all. Right here, I'm just, doing some behind the scenes. Like I said, I think it was good. I think it was just a little lighter. Here's a boomerang. I'm just giving like, and okay, guys, so I need some edge control. I know one thing, it's hot out here, baby. So don't ever play with Florida, because they ain't never playing with us. Okay, guys, YouTube, they got me speaking in a chapel. So don't play. I have become a pastor. So it's just like brochures and stuff about the company, and then this is where I begin speaking. Engagement coordinator, and welcome to World Mental Health Day. I'm so excited to see all of you guys here. Today's topic is Taco Tuesday and tough conversations. So before
just very briefly, Deerfield Beach Community Cares came into existence a few years ago.
Today, the person who's getting up to speak, Ms. Kamaya Chapman, her story aligns with so many of you who are sitting in these seats today. Kamaya was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Kamaya Chapman is a serial entrepreneur who exemplifies the word hustle and, most importantly, a mental health advocate. She has received numerous awards as a professional speaker due to her strong passion in assisting with pulling the greatness out of others. Kamaya's main focus and goal in life is sharing her testimony to remind people that it's not what you go through, but what you grow through. People love her for her resiliency, the most that she's always been transparent, not only about her personal entrepreneurial story, but her grieving process, as she is now a grief coach, helping others find their life after loss. So we can give a warm round of applause for Ms. Kamaya.
Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Okay, so flowers. And how important is it to give flowers, guys?
Very.
Every day, while we can smell them, right? I want to do an activity before I actually start speaking. I want you to close your eyes. Okay, because today is World Mental Health Day. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to raise your hand if you raise your hand, you don't even know what I'm saying. I want you to raise your hand.
Wait, everyone's eyes are supposed to be closed.
Close your eyes. Well, not my eyes. I don't want to see. So close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. And I don't have my glasses on, so if you're in the back, I can't see you. Close your eyes, please. If you or you know someone personally who has suffered silent battle that they did not talk about. Cassie, close your eyes. You are a person, okay, so I want you to open your eyes. Everybody raise their hand. And I'm one of the speakers where, I'm gonna just say this, and I'm not sure everybody's, beliefs, but I believe in God. And he actually genuinely, transparently pushed me into this. He pushed me into using my platform to be transparent about grief, depression. This is something that I had no idea about. Mental health was something that my family, we didn't really talk about it. We used to push it to the side. My grandmama, old school, southern grandma, came from Georgia. If you're going through something, pray about it. But when I got older, I'm like, you know what, I know to pray about it, but what am I praying about if I don't know what I'm actually feeling right now? Anybody ever experienced that before? Raise your hand. I'm like a visual person. I can't see you, So when I got older, I was like, yeah, mental health is something that we don't talk about. But why don't we talk about it? Anybody want to answer that? Like, why do you think we don't talk? I'm an interactive speaker, okay? Shame. You don't want to be judged. Who else want to say something? The stigma, right? And I don't like that. So once my mom passed, okay, almost took me out. And my family's here, my sister's here, my other sorority sisters, my family's here, but it almost took me out, y'all. And I'm just being honest. And me being right here today, I'm like a little nervous, but I couldn't do this. I would be in shambles. My mom dying was like, Lord, I can't do it. I tried to commit suicide. And this is something that my family probably don't know. Trying to commit suicide, but then God was like, you know what, let's switch it. Instead of trying to take yourself out, let's try to find how we can utilize you to help other people. Depression was something that I would put to the side. Like my friends would say, I'm going through the depressive mode. I'd be like, you ain't depressed. Go pray about it. Because that's what I learned from my grandma. And it's the generational thing until I said, you know what, I got to stop this. So now I am like I said, being obedient and listening to God, letting him use me. Now I'm helping people. My friends hit me up for not taking shots because drinking was something that I started to do. I was drunk probably at 10 o'clock in the morning because I was trying to suppress my pain. And I'm really being transparent with y'all. I was trying to suppress my pain and it was like, yeah, you can get drunk and you can be, sorry, this is church. You can I tell a story? But I was like, okay, Kamaya, you can utilize alcohol. But when you get up, baby, your mom is still gone. So I had to go through that. The doctors wanted me to be put on depression pills, anxiety pills. And I was like, you know what, I want to feel this. So yes, when I tried to commit suicide, it wasn't something that was a success. But now I utilize my platform to let people know it's really not what you go through, it's what you grow through. Because me being here today and speaking in front of people to tell them, like, if you are going through depression, the reason why I had you guys, hold up your hands is because everybody, they deal with silent things and we don't want to talk about it. And I think my biggest thing with Cassidy, where'd she go? I told Cassidy, me and her did a podcast together and I said, I'm never embarrassed about what I go through. And I used my testimony like the loss of a child. I lost a child and as soon as I lost my baby, I went through grief, and I had to go transition to another school. But then my mom passed. It was so hard for me to understand a person that I had for 31 years, how I'm living without them. Anybody else lost a parent? Not trying to pull you out of, but losing like a pet, grandma, not even saying grandma, it's a bad thing, but a mama just hit a little different. A parent hits a little different. Anybody lost their dads? So when it comes to grief is something that you have to deal with. So me being a grief coach now, I love it because I'm literally helping people find their life after loss because it doesn't get easier with time. it gets manageable. You know how to maneuver. Like now, I know my mom is never coming back. I'm at the acceptance stage, but don't get it twisted. You can get triggered and you can get pushed back one day. You might be riding the car and, you know, a song comes up and now you're crying again. But nonetheless, I'm super thankful that I listen to my body. I listen to myself, because if your mind is not in connection with your heart, you are all over the place. That makes sense? Yeah. You're all over the place. And so I've learned to pour into myself. Like, I used to be the pourer. My friends can contest, my family can contest. Like, I'm the person that people call for being a strong friend. With my mom's death, I had to realize, baby, you can't be strong with this. This ain't something, it's okay not to be okay. So now I pour into myself. Because someone asked me the other day, Kamaya, when you doing all the pouring, who pours into you? And I said, Kamaya, I pour into myself now. So nonetheless, I am a question and answer person. That's just the gist of me and how important mental health is for me. But it is some note cards on the table. I do want you guys to write some questions down. But if you have questions right now without writing them down, please ask me. Anybody? Somebody? Because I'm gonna start pointing at tables. Okay? Anybody have questions? Please.
How did you acknowledge what steps did you take acknowledging that your feelings, your emotions, needed more professional attention? Like, how far did you let it go before you like?
I think the trying to attempt suicide. My mom, so I have an older brother and I have an older sister right here. But my brother's daughter, she started to stay with me when my mom passed away, because my mom had her. And I tried to take pills, and my niece being with me, her seeing me like that, I would be literally like drunk at 10 a.m. Still on Instagram, because I'm kind of popular on Instagram, not to downplay my position, because God has put me here, but very popular on Instagram. And I would still be promoting and uplifting people, but my shades in my room, they're like the blackout ones from Costco. I need to go get you. But they were pulled in, and I wouldn't even open them. I don't even know what day it is or what time of the day it is, and I'm in the bed literally by the time she goes to school at 8 o'clock. And I'm an entrepreneur, so bills behind, but I just didn't want to feel, my mom not being there until I was like, okay, she's not coming back, come on, you're gonna die. I had a stroke. I had like a mini stroke, I don't know what it's called, but it was something from stress. And, what is it?
TIA.
That's exactly what I had. And so I didn't even know that the hospital had a liver specialist there. That he came to my room like, ma'am, you're 30, I think I was 34 at the time, because I'm 21 now. So I think he came to my room and was like, you're gonna keep it up, you're gonna pass away. And I'm like, you know what, that's what I wanna do. But then I was thinking about my mom, think about my sister, think about my little cousins, and think about my friends, like, come on, you're gonna hurt people if you take yourself out, you're gonna hurt people. And my mama was very silly, like, if I was to do that, she'd be like, girl, what you up with? Get down. Go back down there, So at the end of the day, that's what I had to just really call you. I think you have to call yourself out on your bull. And you know the word that comes out the bull. Okay? You have to call yourself out in a lot of self-acknowledgement. I think that it's very tough to look in the mirror and say, okay, enough is enough. But it has to happen. An uncomfortable, tough conversation has to be had with yourself. I had to get to the level where it's like, Kamaya, okay, you're going down the wrong road. You are an entrepreneur, your business has to be in shambles. Your business is not making anything. And it's gonna be bad. So that's what I had to do. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have other children now?
I don't have my niece and my little cousins. I'm like the fun auntie. They say rich auntie. I don't win on the money, but I'm the fun auntie. But I don't, and I want kids. And I think that people look at their age as a rush. I think we look at social media. I know the 21-year-olds at this table, y'all probably don't know about social media, no, I'm just saying. But social media is a big part in our society, and I think people look at that as like, oh, I'm 36, I gotta have kids, and I'm not one of those people, so I do want kids. I don't have nobody, you got somebody for me. Swing my way there.
What kind of things do you do to pour into yourself?
So I journal, and I know that's cliche, but I literally journal. I'm making my business to be intentional about setting a tone for my day, so I have an alarm. And my sister here, my line sister, she knows I'm not a morning person, right? So I've been waking up at 6:15 in the morning. to be intentional about praying and meditating before the sun comes up.
Amen.
And that's something big, because again, morning person, me and her used to live together, and she'd walk past me and I'd walk past her. So literally, that's what I have started to do, meditating every day, being intentional about being the best version of myself, honestly. Like literally walking with love and light. Really treating people the way I want to be treated. Like, I don't give negativity out, so I don't get negativity in. You know, that makes sense? I'm gonna say it one time for the people in the back. I don't put out negativity, so I never get negativity. I literally start my day knowing that instead of complaining about like, oh, I gotta go to work, like one of those things where thank God I have a job, or thank God, like I had to change the trajectory of my mind. Like, it's all about your mindset, for real, for real. And I know that people in the Black community, and I'm not trying to be funny when I say that, but I know we look at therapy as something like, you ain't crazy, what you need therapy for? And therapy, for me, helped me to realize that a lot of things that I was doing in my adulthood was coming from childhood trauma. And it was coming from me dating men and so it was like, okay, you have to change. You have to change. You gotta call yourself out. It's something you have to change here, because it's gonna be like a generational thing, you know? Any more questions? Yes, ma'am. I love this.
What were some of the key actions that you took after you called yourself out, where you started getting professional help, and then what else did you?
You want to know, can I be transparent?
Yes.
I had to cut some people off. And I'm talking about people that I've been knowing since kindergarten and in high school. And, you know, I think we hold on to these people because we've been knowing them so long and they're so comfortable for us. But some people, sad to say, some people that you've been knowing that long don't mean you no good. And my grandma used to always tell me, everybody can't go. And I didn't never understand what that meant. Like, everybody can't go, what you mean? So now that my grandma passed away a year ago. And so her death was more spiritual. I got baptized, and I read, it's not funny, but this girl is like new, you know, I got baptized and I read the Bible every day. So I changed my circle, and I set boundaries. That's one thing I did. That should have been number one. I set boundaries, and you know, growing up, I didn't know what boundaries were. I didn't know what boundaries were, so I got older, like, wait, this is not how this is supposed to feel. I don't like the way this makes me feel. So to answer your question, I changed my circle. Or maybe they changed me, because being together, but yeah. Any more? No, I think I got a little more time. Yes, ma'am.
Say, you know, what is, from your perspective, what is advice that you might give a young person, you know, that's struggling?
So that's a good question, because I was talking to my soror back there. I got your name. But I used to work at a psychiatric treatment facility for kids up in Georgia called Youth Villages. And I was questioning God, like, why did you put me here? These kids fighting, they crazy, not crazy, but they, you know, they're a little challenged, and it was new for me. So it was just real new for me. So when I got there, I had to look at it like, again, my mindset, I was put there for an assignment, right? So kids would come up to me like, Miss Chapman, you know, you're so popular on Instagram, and you do this and that, and I'm like, you know what, stop looking at other people. Don't look at what people are doing. Don't be jealous of people. My mom was very good with teaching me and my brother to not be jealous. Don't look at what this person has, because you can do that too. Your world is your world, and you make your own story. You know, I have friends that drive Bentleys and they have Rolls Royces, but they're unhappy and they're so broken. So you can't, if I look at them like, oh, I drive an Infiniti that I always need a new tire, you know? I would always be unhappy, but looking at other people is not gonna get you anywhere. And just honestly, keep living. Like the old people say, just keep living, because I think the youth, they feel like their life is so bad once they're like 17. They go through this transition and they're like, you know, they feel like every friend is against them. And it's just like, listen, keep living. Those people are not even gonna matter when you know, go through life. Any more questions?
What has been your toughest audience, and how did you deal with it?
My toughest
Audience, like speaking, have you come across any audience where you had any
You
barriers?
guys. No, I haven't. Thankfully, this is like, I've literally, like I said, this is something that's like faith-based. This is like God is doing this, because I used to be a lash tech. I used to do lashes, okay? I was doing lashes, teaching lash classes, and so when my mom passed away, the lashes, girls stopped coming to me in a nutshell. But you know, this is something new for me, but I have spoken in front of a lot of people, and this is One of my toughest, because y'all answering no questions. People usually be like, but I think that's a good thing too, because maybe I hit some points that you guys want to say already. So, yes.
So, what you mentioned about kids is a concern for me, for all of us probably. Just about a year ago, we lost a 16-year-old black male was murdered by a 14-year-old black male in the park over a hat. How do we change the trajectory from your experience? And I don't think, I would not agree with you when you said 17. I think they're falling off.
Yeah, younger.
Earlier. We're seeing a lot of 12-year-olds with guns.
I honestly think, and I'm gonna say this, and not to be like boasting, bragging, but I just want to say this. My uncle is T.I., right? He's a rapper, T.I. And like I said, it's not like a boast and brag. My mom was his sister who passed away, so when I could grieve, I had to grieve publicly because people looked at her like an auntie, and you know, it was really difficult for me. But saying all that to say, I think it's rappers, I think it's rap music. And I probably, you know, people probably like, what? But I'm saying it because these kids look at social media, they look at the influencers, they look at, you know, what they're doing, and it's sad because they want to emulate those people. Not knowing that, and I'm saying it because Tip, you know, they get paid to rap. For the audience, who is under 20? No, seriously, who's under 20? Because I met some people back there at that table, y'all got your hands up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say under 21. Under 21. Okay, so a couple people, my niece, under 21. So, in a nutshell, I can't really, to be honest with you, I can't really answer that question specifically because social media has different effects on different people, right? And then you have, if you shake, so with you being under 21, how do you feel about social media? In the like this?
So me personally, I try to stay away from it because it has affected my mental health.
How? I'm gonna call you out a little bit.
Me seeing other people and me thinking down on myself, seeing that they either look better than me or they're having more fun than me. So that's why I try to stay away because I want to think more positive. I want to think I'm beautiful, strong, and healthy.
Love it. Yeah. Okay. So teenagers and different like young adults, some of them look at social media differently. Like her, she changed the trajectory. Like, listen, I was looking at people and looking at their lives, and I need to follow different people, correct? Like, I gotta follow different people, and sadly, the parents are not better. Some of the parents of these young kids are worse than the kids, and I've been encountered with a lot of them, and it's sad, but when it comes to social media, young people, stand up. I'm talking to you. Young people, under 21. Stand up, baby. I told you, I'm interactive. When it comes to, you know, social media, and it's just try to, because it's, you know, you're human, right? I understand that. Look at her shirt. No respect. But I'm just playing, guys. She's beautiful. But at the end of the day, when it comes to social media, try to keep it positive. Try to follow people that are fueling your fight, right? And like I said, it's easier said than done, but try to stay on the path of really just following people that are going to motivate you. You know, motivational speakers, inspired, listen to podcasts, and less of, you know, screen time when it comes to negativity. Is that a good? Yeah. Okay. All right. I love you.
What age do you think we should start talking to our children about mental health? Do you think it's
In the stomach while you rubbing your baby? Mental health is, you know, seriously. But realistically, I think when they start going to school, I think because you're around, like when the baby is, what age you go to school, at 5 maybe? Like public school, 4, so I think, because you know you raise your child how you raise your child in your household, so they're going to be accustomed to what you raised them for. But then when you get to see other people and see how they were raised, like my niece, when I'm trying to call her out, she went to college. So community bathroom, you know, she's used to her room with her bathroom, and then she's like, these girls are nasty, you know, so everybody wasn't raised like you. Everybody don't know how to clean like you. So I think the number one thing for mental health when a kid, probably like when they start to go to school. Yes, ma'am. I think I got like 4 more questions.
Do you think that
Other than talking to them about mental health, when do you think is the appropriate age to talk about death?
Death? Same, honestly. I think to talk to them about death will probably be around the age of 5, but I think for them to understand it, that's when it's kind of different, because not everybody understands death a little different. Me being a grief coach now, I honestly could say, I have a lot of friends who don't understand death. And, you know, they know that their parent is going to pass away. And I'm not the one to be morbid about it, but it's just, I think them seeing me go through it, losing my mom, it's like, dang, my mama do have to pass away. My dad has to pass, you know, so I think God put me to go through it first because I am a strong friend again. And he knows, like, as close as me and my mom were, Kamaya could do this. I know I'll be fine, and Kamaya be right there for me. So
She died unexpectedly?
she did, car accident. And I just talked to her, you know, so I think my friends seeing me go through that, it was like, okay, my mom is gonna eventually pass away, and they can get, not ready, because obviously, you know, but it's just one of those things like, dang, Miss Precious passing away, it's like, oh wow. Anybody, I know if she passed away, then I know death is real. So I think as soon as they get open, be around it. Yes, ma'am.
In reference to your grieving, can you explain your steps of grief that you went through?
So grieving has 5 steps, right? You got denial, you have anger, you have depression, you have what is it? Bargaining, and then acceptance. And I'm gonna go to bargaining just a little bit. Bargaining is when you go through the, well, if they wouldn't have never did this, they would still be here. So my mom passed in a car accident. I can call my niece out again, but my niece was in the car with her, and she was going to take my niece to get something for school. And I think she went through bargaining too, and my niece, we needed each other on this whole other thing, but bargaining was for me, and my grief was, if she would have never took her, then she probably would have never got her car accident, or if she never would have left that day. But it's like, you know, it's mindset thing. You have to, like a self-evaluation of Kamaya. She was gonna pass away that day anyway. And that's why I'm so big on literally giving people their flowers while they're here, because death is something that's gonna come, and we don't know when, but it's guaranteed. Are you crying? Yeah. I love a tear. My lash hanging off. Don't do that. But yeah, so what I did in bargaining was I just prayed. I'm gonna be honest with you. Grief is one of those things where, especially traumatically, like my mom died traumatically, so it was so hard for me to just get to the realization that she passed away. And so now I was like, she ain't died. But 2019 when she passed away, 2/22/19, right? That was the most traveling year I've ever had in my life. I'm talking about passport stamped. I'm in da-da-da-da-da-da. So I was like, oh, she out of town. Oh, she gonna call me. Oh, her phone broke, you know. But then COVID hit, right? So then I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, and I moved by myself. And that was a new norm for me. So then I was like, let me call my mom. I literally one day was like, let me call mom. And I was like, oh wait, I'm gone. That was the worst time of my life. So now it's hard for me. Bargaining, I told you about that. Depression, that's when the suicide attempts, that's when the drinking was so bad. 10 a.m., my niece would go to school at 8. I'm drunk all day, right? She would come in, I would be laid across the bed and drunk. Like, and I'm not talking about a little tipsy, you know, it's tipsy, but it's you feel me? So, yeah, that was my depression. And then acceptance is where I am now. And someone asked me, like, what's one thing that I love that I have back? And I would say my smile, because now I genuinely smile. Like, I would be smiling around and stuff, but now I genuinely, like, me talking, I would be like, I can do this. But now I'm like, it's somebody in the audience that I'm helping, and I'm thankful, because God has really brought me a long way. So, I think that's my time, y'all. My Instagram, if you want to follow me, is Kamaya the Plug, and that's KAMAYADA PLUG. And if you have any more questions, I'm going to let other speakers come up. And if you have any other questions, please feel free. I'm here. I'm always one call away, literally. And
Ooh, that was a lot, y'all, but I did so good. My niece came, and my village came, like my sister's mommy, my line sister Toya, my sorors, you know, my real sister, my line sister, and this hug another story. This was the like head guy in charge, the e-board from Deerfield Community Cares. This my soror, y'all, from the Bahamas. Oh my God, I met so many beautiful people. Then I ended the night at my sister's house watching my YouTube video of my dad and my stepmom, and they were laughing at my dad being funny as hell. Y'all go make sure y'all watch that video too. I think I'm getting a little cold or something, but yeah, we watched my YouTube, my sister, and you know, all of that. We laughed. We laugh. Look at them. YouTube is YouTubing. Then I forgot that the freaking BET Hip Hop Awards came on, and so I was able to see my uncle perform. Then I washed my face, made a TikTok video, and yeah. All right, y'all, so I got to the airport, and literally, I missed my flight. As you can see, Spirit don't be playing. I went from being home today at 11 a.m. to being home tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. But it's cool because, you know, I'm always the one to make sense out of nothing, you know, make the best out of, you know. So I get to spend time, an extra day with my sister. So with me missing my flight, I have to ride the train to my sister's house. And yeah. Y'all, I didn't miss the damn train because I was over there. Y'all know I had on this sweatsuit, hot as hell, had to get an Uber, and now I'm finally at my sister's house with a glass of wine.